Yo, everybody, it's Dave Windor from Monster Magnet, and you're listening to The Rock Show with Gully and Joe.
Okay, you're listening to The Rock Show with Gully and Joe. I'm with Alex Marquez today. Alex, how are you?
Awesome, I'm doing great, man. Good to be on the show, I love it.
Where do we begin when we introduce you? I mean, you've drummed in pretty much everyone in thrash or death metal in the United States. I'll let you introduce yourself first, and then we'll go from there.
I am Alex Marquez. I have played with everyone, and if I haven't, I will. It's a joke, but yeah, I've been around, man. You know, done a couple of things while I worked for Demolition Hammer, Resurrection, just Incarnate demos. Name it, I've probably been on it in the 90s, and still kicking it, man. Still working, doing a lot of work with the Beauty Reunited Solstice and with the Mighty Thrasher guy, and just ready to put out new music and ready to go, guys.
First album was with Solstice, is that right? The first Solstice album?
That's the first one done. I believe Retribution was released like a month before. But they were both, we did, actually, backwards, I lied. We did Retribution, and a week later we were Morris on again doing the Solstice, but I think the Solstice was actually released before it. I always get those two confused. They were like months apart in release. So, but yeah, those two albums pretty much came in. But Solstice was the band we were in when Phil asked us to join Level.
Awesome, because when I first got, I first was made aware of that first Solstice album a few years ago with the Cannibal Corpse DVD. When they did a documentary talking about their whole career, and obviously when they talk about Rob, they spoke about the Solstice album then, and they really talked it up. They were going like, that's a classic album, it's underrated, and it had people being interviewed. They were like, I still listen to that album to this day. And that's how I was first made aware of Solstice. And then yeah, just hearing about yourself, I've got more. I first heard of you when you first joined Thrash or Die, and then when I looked into it, I pretty much, I've got everything this guy's done without even realising it.
That happens a lot, man. That happens a lot, you know. Just from, you know, I was away for a while. I got sick, you know, but you know, a lot of people remember, and a lot of people, you know, and the reason I'm playing again is because so many people were there for me, man, when I got sick, and had my back and support, and my Facebook blown up, and even before Facebook, by MySpace, I was like, you know, maybe want to work hard and come back, man, and I'm so glad. I feel like I'm back in 91 or 92, man. It's like reliving a dream, and this time I'm not letting go. We're here to stay.
Well, that's a good point, actually. I mean, you was there sort of when the thrash metal and death metal, you was there during the first boom.
I always said that I think Florida kind of skipped, not necessarily for us, because there was bands like Rape Tape and even early Hellwitch, and there was a band called Tempest Union. There was thrash here, and Boulevard is another band, you know, what's his face from Marilyn Manson, Twiggy. That's another band that was a thrash band, but I think it got overlooked, and there's a misconception that death metal was from Florida, actually, but it grew out of a thrash scene, you know. It grew out of people wanting to be more extreme.
What's the biggest difference you see now and back then?
Dude, the scene now is just amazing again. I am shocked. There's a show in Miami every week. Every show is packed. We just played with Nocturnus, so 600 people there. It was incredible. Back then was, you know, it's just nostalgia, man, whatever. So many records came out, and so many bands from here in Tampa, man, and we all coexisted and played together, and everything was just, it was awesome. And I'm seeing that again. The brotherhood is coming back. Metal got really separated here in this town, you know, like everybody was all doing their own shit. Now there's a lot of unity. There's a lot of bands. There's Necromaniac, you know, obviously Thrash or Die, Ancestor, man, you name it. There's so many, Reaper Mans. There's so many bands here that are so good now. You know, I think in a way there's more bands now than there was before, to be honest with you. Yeah, it's a great scene, man, and you know, it's just awesome. But you know, that's the same thing with Thrash or Die. It's huge, man. Not even probably here we are not that as big or as received, man. We play anywhere else and every show is packed. I cannot believe the amount of interest And the amount of love that people have for Thrash or Die, it's insane, man. And I welcome it. I love it, man. I'm there to stay in that band too, man.
Do you want to pick a track? Do you want to play something?
Let's play a Thrash or Die. Let's play Zombie Assault. Let's do that. That's my favorite track on that album.
did you come to join Thrash or Die?
I've been a friend of Ralph for a very long time, since the late 80s, early 90s. And, you know, we've pretty much been friends, been around. They had a problem, you know, Caesar obviously didn't want to tour anymore. He's got other priorities and stuff. So I originally joined to do a tour with, you know, Caesar supposedly coming back after. When we got back, that didn't happen, and they asked me to be a permanent member, and I said, hell yeah, I had such fun playing the songs, such fun on tour with these guys. It's like being on tour with your brothers. It's a blast. So I was like, naturally, hell yeah. And from that came the SOLSTICE reunion, because Ryan and I joined Thrash or Die at the same time. And Ryan and I joined at the same time, and, you know, I remember how it happened. It was so crazy, because we just took a break. Everybody went outside, and I stayed behind the drums. And Ryan said, and he goes, can I tell you, man, that SOLSTICE, that album is one of my favorite albums of all time. And I knew he was in a band called Atomic, and he sang and played. So naturally, I just go, you know how to play any of it? And he goes, what do you want to play? I know how to play anything on that album. And I'm like, let's do Cleanse of Impurities. And he's like, all right, we did it. He sang it I literally stopped doing it, ran outside, called Dennis, and I go, we're gone. We're a go again. We're going to be able to tour again. And that's how that happened. That was easy as that. And then Dennis came back down, and we rehearsed, and we haven't stopped since. Getting ready to go out again. We'll be out in May with Master all over the U.S. one more time.
When I was talking to Ralph, we touched on Ryan Taylor. Actually, I'll have to try and interview him actually, because it was just mad. The guy's 17 years old. He's now the new singer in Solstice, and he's joined Thrash or Die. He's lucky son of a bitch.
He's a talented motherfucker, and on top of that, he works hard. That's the main thing with. When I was 17, I was playing drums, but I'm nowhere near as focused as that kid. He is all about metal. He is all about practicing. He is all about singing. He's all about touring. He's so ahead of his age in that aspect. Of course, there's kids that there's always going to be 17, and but he's amazing, and he's a blessing, and shit, Solstice exists again because of him.
It's a rare thing.
Yeah, and especially at that age, it's really amazing. That's the only word to describe it.
You did leave Solstice for a little while. Was that when you was in poor health?
Yeah. I mean, for all that don't know, I caught a parasite. It was a bone-eating parasite. I caught it diving. I dove pretty much all over Central America, and at some point I had cuts in my feet, just diving barefoot and all that, and I caught a virus that ate through the bone in my feet. Ate through the bone so bad that my feet were brittle. It was like broken glass. And then my right foot healed once I got on antibiotics. I mean, by the time I went to the hospital, I was like, we don't know what it is. We're going to give you the strongest thing we have, which is Zyvox. And you're going to take that for 8 weeks, and we're going to pray it takes. And if it takes, you have feet. If it doesn't, you don't have feet, because we're going to have to amputate because it's going to keep eating up. Right? So that was a year of hell. Okay, after the 8 weeks, the antibiotic killed the bacteria, but the damage was so bad that when my feet healed, my left foot, the pinky toe and the second toe, don't have any bone at all. Actually, I have the bone in a jar here in my house, the bone of both feet and both toes, and my feet deformed bad. Like my right foot healed with the arc. You have an arc in the bottom of your foot, and it healed with the arc the other way around. So it feels like I have a rocking chair for a foot. But they're all there, and it took me a year to relearn pretty much how to play, because the thing that happened was the sensitivity and my feet gave out. So I at first, till this day, I play, and sometimes I don't know what's going on. So I have to pretty much train myself, and I always have something running, and I have headphones. Anytime you'll see pictures of me, you'll see me with headphones. I got something, so I can hear the kicks. And then I think actually, after coming back, I think I'm playing now faster than I ever did. As far as double bass wise, I'm flying. Live, and they're always telling me, slow down, you're fucking going too fast. So I'm doing something right.
That's awesome, man. That's really should be influential to listeners as well. Never ever give up. No matter what life throws at you, you got to keep on.
Yeah, you have to, man. You can't. I'll tell you this: you can't give up if you really love something. You don't. You come back from it and you push on, and tours, they get crazy, man. Some days I can barely walk, and we always have to have a hotel room. Remember when I go up there and kids come up to me and they're like, dude, you rule, sign this, sign that. That's it. I'll endure anything to never lose that, because to see people happy and happy that I'm doing what I love, Jesus, that's priceless thing what that is,
So you got back into drumming, and then what? You rejoined Solstice. What happened with Christian?
It's a unique thing. Christian will be involved with the new album. He will be writing. He will. I don't know to what extent, if he's going to sing on anything or not, but I know he will be involved. Christian's problem is, the reason we got Ryan to do it is not because we're mad at Christian or he's part of our family and we love him. It's just he can't tour. He's a married man. He's got a great job. And touring is out of the question for him. And then, as far as me and Dennis, our dream was to tour. Solstice never got to do anything because Rob and I joined Malevolent. So to have this chance again, we just couldn't say no anymore. I rejoined right after they did To Dust. You know, my good friend and brother Brian Harris did the drums on that album, and I couldn't at that point. I could barely even walk. So he did it, and it was my blessing. And I think the album turned out great. A lot of people say it's a lot. They did a couple things different. They tuned down. Sounds more like a death metal album, and a lot of people complain, "Oh, it's not you drumming." I don't think the drumming has anything to do with it. I think Brian did an amazing job. I love the songs. They're tuned down. I'm not a fan of that too much, but they're good. And we are going to be playing some of those songs when we go out live. We go out again now with Master. And, yeah, man, it's part of it's an album that's part of this band. As much as Prey, as much as The Sentencing, as much as anything, as much as the new album that we're doing is a part of Solstice, Solstice album. But we will play songs from all the albums.
Do you know if the 2 albums you did with Malevolent Creation, Retribution and Stillborn, do you know if those albums are ever going to get reissued? Because I don't know if you're aware, they cost a fortune. If you want to, you can get it on iTunes, whatever, easily enough, but on a CD, eBay, Amazon, people are charging fortunes. Do you know if they're ever going to get reissued at all? Or?
Problem with that is I've been approached by everybody and their mother to re-release. We did I don't know if you saw it, we did a re-release of the first Solstice on vinyl with my buddy Costas from Repulsive Echo. Amazing release. Me and him and I have been trying to see if I could get the rights to do at least Retribution, and Roadrunner is asking for an amount of money that I swear to God, if I was a millionaire, I'd be like, just give it to me just to prove them wrong. But they're asking for such an amount of money that it's kind of hard, man. It's kind of hard to do it. Who's going to dish it out? You're not going to maybe make that money all the way back, and it's ridiculous. It's they're not going to do anything. They haven't re-released it. They haven't done anything. And they could. We had a bitter breakup with that baby. To the point where they left us stranded in Arizona at the end of that Complete Control tour with Obituary, Cannibal Corpse, and Nelson Front. They took our bus, and we had to fly home. Luckily, Obituary took all our equipment home. I was able to pick it up at Tampa, but we pretty much got left on the street. That's how we left Roadrunner. They were mad because, certain members of Malevolent were, bad-mouthing us. But it wasn't bad-mouthed without base or reason. They were pretty much treating us like shit. So, whatever. And I love Monty, man, and Frickin' and Psycho and everybody, man. I don't know what the hell went wrong there, man. I don't know what Phil dealt with them directly, so I don't know what relationship he had with them, but we got left in Arizona, so it was bitter, man. And after that, they've pretty much thrown those albums in the gutter, and they don't give anybody the rights to do them. I have a Retribution vinyl, but it's a bootleg. I bought that shit. Actually, it was given to me. It was a gift, but it's a bootleg. Oh, it has no lyric sheet. It sounds good enough, but it has no lyric sheet. It's just like the album cover, a record. That's it,
Thanks a lot for your time. Thanks for coming on. And yeah, check him out, everyone. We got a new album from Solstice, new album from Thrash or Die, and also we got a new album from Sargon.
You got it. And check out that Create a Kill, man. And we will be over in Europe at some time this year. We were supposed to be there in November. Long story. We're really sorry. This year we will be over there. Plus 2 U.S. tours, so we will be a very busy band this year. We're going to see everybody out there, man. Thank you for having me on your show, Joe.
The Rock Show with Gully and Joe.